Roll dice, be nice, and stay tuned. This is the Live to Die podcast.
I'm never sure exactly when these episodes are going to run versus when we record them, which is not because there's any unknown factors in the schedule. I'm just really horrible about keeping the schedule that far out to know, this episode will air on. Like I used to do it back in the first season, and then we got to a point in the second season where I'm like, I care more about getting more prep time in than knowing that. However, it is basically our Christmas recording session, pretty much.
Yeah.
There was Christmas music on before this. It's sort of at the end of the year, but you know what else we're sort of at the end of?
Our
Time?
lives.
Happiness.
Well, we are, and like this is
No
sort
one's
of,
excited about playing this.
Democracy.
Yes, we're just excited about.
That's true.
Got it.
We're excited about democracy. Is that what we're saying?
Oh, no, we're
That's what's
near
ending.
the end of
Oh
democracy.
shit! No, that wasn't what I meant.
Yeah.
We're
It's got
near.
a few weeks left.
Is my mic on? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're near essentially
mic.
the. Your mic is quieter than normal.
Yeah,
Oh no, that's Jared's.
Hi.
Oh,
well.
I didn't even see you over there.
I snuck in.
We are basically at the end of the first, what I think was the first book of Kingmaker. Like this is
Oh,
sort
nice.
of that
Yeah.
resolution. I don't know in the original one if you made your kingdom at the end of book 1 or the beginning of book 2. And I know that they changed up a lot of the like book one, it no longer is 6 books for the remaster. They did like 12, 13 chapters. This will technically be the end of chapter 3, but that doesn't really count because chapter 2 is all of the hexploration. So you've done like a fraction of chapter 2.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought you were going to say 10 or 12 books, and I was like, James, I don't know if I'm going to be alive long enough to finish this podcast.
No, but if you think about it like this, according to the chapter numbers at least, we're about a fourth of the way done with Kingmaker.
Nice.
Now, I
Wow.
don't think that's realistic.
Right.
So does that mean you have to go back to chapter 2 every time we're like crawling around the hexes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, well, that's why I prep chapter 2 really differently. I prep the parts where I think you are, where you might go. But all that to say, I'm a big fan of at the end of the year doing a little look back. And I'm curious, looking back so far on, season 1, if you will, of Die on the Throne. What are some of your stand-up moments? I used to have a friend that I played a lot of tabletop games with, and they would always say, like, what was
used
your...
to have.
I used to have a friend.
I used to have a friend
No.
who I played tabletop games with.
Well, we're not in touch
Now
anymore.
you're all enemies.
Now they're dead.
He's talking about Trent. There are no mortal enemies.
But at the end of some like head-to-head games, they'd always say like, all right, what was your like favorite moment of the game? And what was your like best surprise or something? So I'm curious so far, like what's been your favorite moment for your character? And what's been your favorite moment that isn't intrinsically about your character so far?
That's tough.
Droshar's cutting himself out of the Conqueror Worm was pretty peak for
Yeah,
me.
it's pretty
Wrong
good.
show.
Oh, yeah.
He's never going to get past that one.
That's it. And it was all downhill after that.
Oh, cool.
I think my favorite is, well, I guess I can say it. It hasn't aired on the podcast feed yet, but it will by the time this comes out. So when Lucky and Arthur kind of got into it back at camp,
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed that role play moment because I think it's real. Like, I think it's realistic, like two guys that just don't see eye to eye on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And just having kind of that moment was interesting to me.
I do want to note that after that session, both Jason and Jared sent me text messages. Are like, "Are you okay, man? Everything good?" Yeah. And I was like, "No,
Separately,
Arthur's just being a
not
dick.
because
It's
of
fine."
Arthur. You just looked down that day.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, well, and then I didn't notice until after we had that interaction. I was like, I hope that it was like, okay. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
after,
Can I
like-
just completely throw Trent under the bus here and say that I was hanging out with his wife that night after we recorded, and Jason texted me and said, "Was Trent okay today? He seemed a little off." And I was like, "Oh, I think he's fine, but maybe I'm just a bad friend." And I asked Casey, like, "Oh, is Trent all right?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, he's just really sore because he built some patio chairs the other day."
That's honestly completely true.
That's funny.
I did manual labor in it.
That is
Destroyed
hilarious.
me.
Nice.
Do you have a favorite moment that didn't involve your character directly, like a favorite spectator moment?
I just think that like everything around Biff was interesting. Like, I think, in the moment it was like so shocking, but I think it's done a lot for this group and it's made the dynamic more interesting in a way. So I don't know. I think probably that.
What's the expression? If you want to finish a campaign, kill a character.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say that as far as like non-Nikolai moment, that is, or a group as a whole moment, Biff's funeral
Oh,
was pretty
Yeah,
awesome, right? Like we each had like this moment, plus we introduced a new character, and it just felt like a huge turning point in our story is how that unfolded, even though it's like the end of the first battle and it is literally the turning point of your story, but it felt more impactful with Biff dying.
It was interesting to GM that because there's a note in there about how like, you know, it might be a bit of a somber affair because you all got attacked. But I know like every other game I've ever ran, you know, wherever you are gets attacked and people die, but it's not the characters. They're all just like, what up?
We did it.
Yeah.
Get some. And then someone was like, oh, it's actually weirdly said. It's also hard to GM a recording when all of you are doing really well. And like, I'm tearing up a little bit. I'm like, don't break on Mike.
So I actually do think that my personal favorite so far was when Biff died. And here's why. I got to just be like, this rule that I convinced you, I think, to bring into the game affected it. And then I got to just be like, well, my character's dead. I'm going to step away from the table. And then I got to like watch you guys or listen to you guys deal with that aftermath while I frantically built a backup character.
Trent's favorite moment was getting to go home early.
But from outside, watching Nikolai is interesting because he, being religious, he's like trying to talk to everybody and like find a way to bring everybody else in. So we're all trying to find these ways to get the other characters in the world to join us or help us out. And he's approaching it from a really interesting way, I think.
My favorite moment is that time Trent said something really nice about Nikolai.
And now he's coming back forever.
I would say as far as Nikolai goes, finding the ring. It was like his obsession. I wrote about it in the journal that I'm keeping, even like the bad parts where he might agree with Lucky and Ari a little bit about like, what are we doing here? To find it and give it back, like Jason felt accomplished.
That was cool. I like the quest system in Kingmaker.
Yeah.
I think my favorite Ari moment was in the manor house when she was like, fuck these rooms on fire, and just ran in to go save Scythe Lady. I can't remember her name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember like going in there and I was like, oh, this was probably a terrible idea. I think my character is going to die. But then it was like just a series of good rolls and Ari got to be a badass, which I think was made like even a little bit more interesting by the fact that like shortly after that, she just gets absolutely rocked by the axe lady and like Biff dies and all of that, because I think she was definitely like riding high. But one of my favorite moments outside of that was Arthur's weird, intense chant going into the kobold den. That was good.
You stole mine. My favorite non-me moment was going to be Arthur's like litany, essentially.
Cool.
Walking
It was just
into
like
the kobold fight.
I think a lot of this has felt more lighthearted and silly in a way than our last campaign, and it's like, you know, we're like fighting mitflits or like these little things that are, it's like the lower level kind of like sillier fantasy type things.
It's like a little cheeky.
Yeah. But it was like really, when Trent was doing that, it was like the Arthur chant. I was like, oh my God, I like actually have chills. And it's this kind of funny, like weird little
For sure.
moment.
Yeah, it was definitely, it felt like sort of a moment in which the story was stepping up the stakes a little. My favorite me moment, which sounds super arrogant now that I say it out
My
loud.
favorite moment
You're
of
the
my
My
GM,
favorite
bro.
moment of me just saying stuff.
Well, it's interesting as a GM because like I don't have a character. I have lots of characters, but I think my favorite moment with an NPC that came up was Ari talking with the two bandits at the Thorn River camp who were like, maybe we should become fishermen or lumberjacks.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trees around here. We could just stop chopping them down.
She was like, no, that's not what I meant.
And it was one of those fun things, because it was we recorded that at a period when I was just binge watching fuck tons of this British show called Taskmaster, which is a bunch of comedians coming on and doing random things. It's on TikTok all the time. And it's also all for free on YouTube on their own channel. You should watch it. But there was a couple of comedians on the season I was binge watching at that time that had their sense of humor just kind of got stuck there. But I don't want to get stuck in this introduction too long because we've got a big fight today. So we need to get a couple of things.
I just looked at my hero lab.
Jane's cheating right now.
I just looked at my hero lab because, you know, we recently leveled up and it says Jane's character. And so I open it and I was like, AC 40. And I was like, wow, I guess third level's like really badass. I'm on Val.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong character.
Is it because you haven't named your characters in Hero Lab?
Correct.
I think too the high level of that other one makes it insanely more like the evil in what is the Grey Death makes it so much more important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do a little bit of housekeeping going into this. Who has, and I need you to be honest, any dishonesty will result in me feeling sad.
I have 15 hero points.
Well, now I'm sad, Trent. Yeah. What is the hero point count? We had an extra hero point get handed out to Jason at the end of last session. So that puts you at 1 or 2, Jason.
1.
Okay. Let's, you know what? Because you mentioned him, I know how much you love your old character. Here you go.
So much.
Here's your hero patch. Jared, what are you sitting at patch-wise?
I was at 2.
All right, let's go with Star Wars and a death save.
Dope.
Trent, you got any patches, legitimately?
Nope.
Okay, Jane.
Nope.
All right. Well, I got all these out for no reason at all.
This side of the table is gonna die.
Trent spends a lot of his on Jane too.
Okay, that's not even true.
Said that.
It's canon.
But let's talk about where you are. You are at the Stag Lord's fortress, which used to be an old monastery, and there is probably a 2, maybe 3-story monastery of stone built vertically, just a big square. But over time, the roof has collapsed, and what is now serving as the roof is what's left of the floor of the second story. And much of that has collapsed too. The complete northeast corner of the monastery is fallen away and is open air, now being used as a storage room with an elevated walkway across it. The northeast, northwest, and southwest corners are watchtowers, connected by sort of retrofitted added bits of wood around it, walkways and platforms added around the building. All of you have just entered into the Stag Lord's fortress, posing as bandits who have been recruited by, I think you sort of pass yourself off as having joined the Thorn River bandit camp.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that when it was attacked by heroes, you all just fled because, if I remember correctly, you had to go, there was something so important you had to get to the Stag Lord that you had to flee the fight and not help them fight, but you were also just told to go to the Stag Lord.
I don't know that I like your tone.
You brought with you one of the multiple bottles of extremely expensive whiskey. Or alcohol of some kind, and you added a giant centipede venom to it.
We brought the venom.
Correct.
We're using the venom.
And so you had that sent to the Stag Lord, and that was brought back to him. And little did you know that he's a right proper problem drinker, and apparently started instantly chugging the whole bottle. Well, he clearly realized there was poison when it started burning, but the first big bad evil guy of this whole campaign was not in fact laid out flat by a DC 17 poison.
Damn.
You know.
Maybe we should have thought.
I thought it was a great idea.
Thank you.
Honestly, I really did.
I also thought that we were stupid for not asking that alchemist we literally just talked to for
I thought
stronger
about it.
poison.
The whole way home.
The only thing
We
I
were in
thought
an
about,
alchemist hut for a while.
It's like we
only-
could have just gotten a really good poison.
Although
Well,
I don't
we
know how
weren't
well
there.
that would have
That's on
gone
you guys.
I don't
That's
know
true.
how well that would have gone with him. Of like, it's nice to meet you. Do you have any cyanide?
Well, you did. He was dropping whole like things about other potential side plots and quests with his brother, and literally
That's true. We'll be like, we'll kill your brother.
I was
Give us
like,
some
Jared's
poison.
like, yeah, I stopped
he's
paying attention.
talking way too much. I just want healing potions.
Yeah, I think that's true that like Ari and Lucky went in there trying to get the poison, and then he was so annoying that we were like, we got to get out of here.
You're trying to get healing potions, and I was trying to drop clues on how you could help expand his inventory and get stuff for free.
Well, you didn't say that explicitly, so I didn't pick up on that.
Well, everyone has their
Well, he
issues.
was really annoying. So
let's paint the scene in what is sort of the common room.
really quick, I just want to give James a little shout out because he has built out
Yeah.
the entire compound.
Definitely look
That's
at one of
insane.
our social media feeds. This is pretty amazing.
We have minis for everything. There's like multiple layers worth of terrain going on right now. Like it's a very immersive experience.
And it's not even Legos.
It's quite beautiful.
Actually, yeah, that is
It's real
something.
fantasy stuff.
It's I want to kind of say. So this was kind of a cool thing for me to realize. So I've been playing role playing games since I was like 10, and we've talked about it a lot. When I was a teenager, I think it was back when 4th edition D&D was in vogue, or it wasn't, was sort of the issue. I lucked out. I was playing a little more tabletop games. I didn't have a ton of friends, which probably shouldn't be a huge shocker. And I've managed to find over the course of like a year and a half, a bunch of sets of Dwarven Forge, like role-playing game terrain, which is like what they use on fucking Critical Role and shit. At least they when they started. I don't know what they do anymore. I haven't watched in ages. So I'd like save up the money I got working as a lifeguard, and I'd go on eBay and I'd find these Dwarven Forge sets. And like I'd get to use them occasionally playing games, but I'd always wanted to like build out a whole compound and do something like this. And so I've done it once or twice before. The very first time Trent and I played Pathfinder together, I built out a whole compound similarly.
Yeah. I think you just made me think that this is how the game is played all the time.
Sorry.
It was like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah, this fucking rules.
Last night I was getting ready and like cutting out pieces of cardboard to use to brace like elevated sections of the terrain. And I was like, man, 15-year-old me would be so excited to see 32-year-old me.
Yeah.
Doing this and getting to sit around a table with people that I like this much that I've been gaming with now for like 4 years, which is so fucking cool.
That's crazy.
Well, anyway, let's paint the picture. So in the common room is where you had met Donovan O'Nishrak, a man claiming to be from Nidal, and there was through 4 other bandits in that room with you, if I remember correctly, or maybe it was three other bandits with him. There was Backhanded Jeb.
Of course.
Iconic.
Yes.
Backhanded Jeb. There was, all the names. Topper Red. And I think the final one was Nori Gorgon. Nori, also known as Gorgon. And they'd sort of met you as well as a couple of people in the watchtowers on the northern side of the complex and brought you and your wagon in. You'd left some of your supplies and at least Nadrama tethered in the woods.
No, we left Nadrama at the trading post.
Okay, sure.
We went over this so many times because James was like, you left Nadrama in the woods where she's going to get eaten by a bear. And we were like, no.
It's recorded. We'll find out for sure.
We'll find out whenever it airs.
Claptrap.
Yeah.
Oh,
and remember we were going to come back to a horse llama, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So you've worked your way in. You have Arthur and Nikolai tied up in a classic Wookiee prisoner sort of situation.
Yeah.
That was my actually, I would like to amend my favorite moment. My favorite moment was pushing Arthur down and being like, I caught this prisoner.
Yeah, and you actually hit him, and Arthur is starting at less than full HP from Ari continuing to deal damage.
I thought you were going to say when you pushed Nikolai into a hole.
There's a habit.
Yeah, into a spiral.
That was another favorite
She
moment.
can't shoot first, so she's got to beat up on her friends.
I do think we have to clear something up here, though, because we did buying off air.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we decided to give Arthur a ring of discretion.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that he actually has his sword and shield on him.
And his
now.
armor, and it just looks as though he doesn't have any of that.
Right.
So Arthur and Nikolai are all tied up. Someone, I forget who, tied like sort of fake knots, and you brought them in, and you were greeted by the bandits, and you were brought into the main room. It looks like it's where a lot of people sleep, it's where a lot of people eat. And you also met the sort of number 2 in command, the Stag Lord, a man named Akaros, that Jane has decided. I'm sorry, what's the catchphrase for the podcast? I said he's hot.
Oh, you said he was hot?
I believe you said he was hot.
I think you said he was hot.
So he took the liquor off to the Stag Lord, and all of you were hanging out getting to talk to Donovan and Nishrak, who kind of gave you a weird vibe. Had a soul patch, long hair, creepy guy.
0 of 10.
Talked about how someone named Auch really likes torture and to violently play with you like his toys.
I think I was severely misunderstood what happened last time because when we were getting ready for this, I was like, it really sucks that Arthur and Nikolai are trapped in a room with a giant monster and that creepy elf guy. And he was like, no, that's you and Lucky. And I was like, oh, God.
So where we
I felt
stand
a little
now.
better when I came in and was like, oh, I'm in a room with just 1 or 2 bad guys. Cool.
Two baddies.
Ari and Lucky are toast.
So exactly where we stand was that last time, Gorgon and Backhanded Jeb, which is my favorite fucking name, we had just led Wookiee prisoner Nikolai and Arthur to the armory where they're going to tie them back up. And exactly where we cut away was that they were just about to check the knots and re-tie them up when I believe Trent's exact words were, they're about to catch these hands.
Yeah. I believe we had them, we were tied up.
Yes, but they were just about to check your knots.
With
quote-
air quotes.
And Ari had palmed a knife to Arthur
Yes.
in your hand with
Yeah.
a thievery check. So let's cut back to Ari and Lucky, who were talking with Donovan, and Topper Red's in there as well when they hear assassins and an angry Stag Lord come busting into the room. You also did notice the big beast, which you can now see from the pond.
Wait, the actual Stag Lord said that and came out here?
That's how you now know him to be.
Oh, I didn't know he came in here. I knew he said it. I didn't know
Yeah,
he came
and
in
so
here.
he started storming in here. You also did, due to the ponds, get a good look at the beast that was in. It looked like it was a cave room because some part of the monastery was built into a rocky outcropping at top of this hill. And it looks like they'd carved into it like a natural cave there and put what I think you can probably guess was originally the iron portcullis for the walls around, or for the front of the fortress to make this sort of a cage. And inside of it is a large owl bear.
Hate that.
Okay, so from the top, real quick, Lucky Ari in a room with Donovan and Nishrock and another bandit by the name of Topper Red. Number 2 and the Stag Lord angry and on the way. Attached to this room is a cage with an owl bear.
Yes.
Right around the northern corner in the collapsed roof section of the fortress is the storage room in which you have Arthur and Nikolai fake tied up with Gorgon and backhanded Jeb. In that room is a set of stairs up to an elevated platform connected to the northeast watchtower in which there is a guard. There's also a guard in the northwest watchtower, and you don't know, but there's a guard in the southwest watchtower. So you know what this means it's time for? Oh, I cannot fucking wait to say this. It is time for a flashback.
Oh.
Oh, you surprised me.
That's not where I thought we were going.
Can I just say that Ari is definitely going to be like, oh my God, those prisoners we brought in are assassins. Oh no.
no.
Let's get up.
Uncool. Your room is also twice the size of ours too. It's like 60 by like 30 or 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
And ours is
All right,
20 by 30.
Jane, how does this, what's the vibe for the sound setting?
Can I get a little a tavern vibe?
Ooh.
Good tavern or
If
bad
we're talking
tavern?
about Ari, we're talking about a
Is there a
tavern.
bad
Talking about
tavern
drinking.
sound set?
Yeah, I've got
Hey,
a friendly
we're-
tavern or a seedy tavern.
Ooh, friendly
seedy.
tavern.
All right.
It could be seedy. I don't know. Take your pick.
No. By your description, it is happy tavern.
It says warm and lively.
yeah.
That sounds
Happy
to me.
tavern.
CD
It doesn't
Maybe
say
light.
dark and
Ari
scary.
is warm and lively in a seedy tavern.
Right.
But let's travel away, far away from this horrible scene here, to a time in the past. A tavern that looks the same as any other, warm and lively. A wooden sign at the front reading "Topsy-Turvy" hanging haphazardly above the door, which now flies open. You can see now we're in an interior shot, and you see Ariadna Vex staggering into this bar. She's needing to socialize. She wants to have a good time. She also really fucking needs to sit down. And she's been running, it looks like. Maybe metaphorically, maybe literally, who knows? Could be months at this point. Doesn't matter though, but at this point, she's tired. It's probably just karma anyway, she thinks. And staying on the move is always better than, well, whatever the other alternative would be. When she stops too long, it's easy to let her mind wander back to her family and the looks ranging anywhere from sneering to nauseating pity on her sister's face when she realized they'd all been lying to her for, approximately her whole life. The moment it became clear that behind all the missions they'd carried out on behalf of their mother, the great and honorable Madame Vex, all that existed was a trail of crime, selfishness, and violence. And worse, that when Ari finally realized the truth, none of her sisters looked even a little surprised. Only Naomi, the eldest of the 11 Vex sisters, looked even slightly sympathetic as she watched Ari's counterfeit idealism shatter. And not even she had tried to stop Ari from leaving.
10 older siblings and not even one of them cares, she thinks.
But whatever. Not today, Mom. She isn't here to think about them. She's here to have a good time, and specifically not to think of them. So she slaps a copper on the bar, looks at the menu. There isn't a menu. It's just a tab, which only has 2 offerings, bad ale and worse ale.
Is the bad ale really any better than the worse?
The bartender basically just stares kind of right through you and in a weird form of acknowledgement.
That good, huh? Okay, 2 pints, please.
She spins with foam on her upper lip and looks for a seat. The tavern isn't full, but it isn't empty. The manners of these people. Every table full, everyone's sitting alone. Ari almost spills her drink, rolling her eyes, and scans the crowd for an open seat and someone who seems like they could be decent company. The nearest table sits a moody-looking elf with bad hair, talking to a wizard.
2 of 10 hair, she thinks to herself. No, thank you.
And she settles on a seat at the bar, placing her next to a small green kobold.
Well, hi. You look like you could use a friend.
A strange guy, she thinks, but at least it's someone to talk to.
You have no idea. I'm Ari.
Howdy, Ari. I'm Biff, the great adventurer and soon-to-be Sir Biff. Thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
They talk and begin to laugh. In the background, a bard strikes up some ridiculous instrument, a pan flute or something like that. Ari thinks and begins to regale the crowd with a story of a group of great adventurers who saved the nation from tyranny and some giant beast below.
Wow, you don't say. Freeing an entire country from tyranny and a beast. Sound like some pretty heroic heroes, if you ask me.
If my older sister Carolina were here, she'd say it's bullshit, and there aren't heroes in real life, and there's only people doing whatever they want to do. But then again, she's terrible, so...
Well, see, that's how I know you're right about your sister being terrible. Because there are heroes out there. I know, because in fact, my older brother is one himself. He's brave and strong and well on his way to being a knight of Lastwall.
Wow, your siblings sound much cooler than mine. You must get along.
Yeah, not even a little. He means well and he cares, but he can be a little terrible sometimes too, don't you worry.
Ari laughs, takes a drink of her beer, and maybe after all these months, she's finally starting to make a friend. She raises her glass to Biff.
Well, here's to never having to meet each other's siblings.
How about this instead? Here's to being heroes one day.
Clink.
Ari rolls her eyes, laughs, taps her glass to Biff's, and it fades away.
Oh, why would you do that?
Right before his brother's going to die.
I was sad already, yeah.
We know what I think it's time for.
What's it time for?
I think it's time to
Another
roll
flashback.
initiative.
Should we be done?
Did you roll this previously? Was it on the
Nope.
episode? Okay.
No, it's not. But you know what? I would like to... Patch. Please
Yay.
pass one down to Trent.
Oh, thank
and Jane,
God.
take one for
Ooh.
yourself.
You're getting days since last hole breach, 0.
That's
Turn into
great.
1.
All right. So here's what I'd like. What would all of you feel is appropriate to roll for initiative? I think for the
Ooh.
people in the main room, you've been trying to pose a deception or
Yeah,
diplomacy. It's all
yeah,
allowed
it's
deception,
deception.
diplomacy, or perception. And for our folks in the for our folks who are in the Wookiee Gambit, I'd allow athletics, deception, or perception.
I'm going to go athletics.
All right, well, let's hit this drop and get going.
Definitely going with perception.
Oh,
I spent like a solid 15 minutes last night prepping the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different other people's initiatives for this encounter. It's good times.
all 4 people, huh?
Yep.
All right.
Who's got initiative finished? What do you got, Trenton?
26.
Ooh.
Okay, well, that's going to be handy. Jane, what'd you pull?
16.
It's a little lower.
Not great.
Lucky, what'd you get?
25.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Nikolai.
20.
Okay. Well, let me just go ahead and bring this all in here. Okay. Do any of you have the goes before enemies if you tie feat?
I
No.
don't think so.
No.
Okay.
We've always it's always happened to be between us, and we just decided.
From one of my other players, I realized that there is because the default rules are if you tie an enemy, the enemy goes first.
Okay.
There's a feat that says if you tie an enemy, you always go
Oh,
first.
that's cool.
Yeah, one of I think the genuinely, continually cool uses of feats in 2E Pathfinder that aren't like super powerful, but when it comes, if you're like, oh, that's kind of unique to my character, that's cool.
Is that part of Incredible Initiative?
What's that?
That you get to go before people who...
I don't think
Tie you?
so.
I think I've brought this up before, but one thing I think I ultimately want Ari to take, if she lives, is this feat as a swashbuckler where you can choose to go last in initiative and start with panache because
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
I don't even need to go first.
All right, so let's start with the first person in the initiative order. Oh my god, I have so much going on, and I am so excited.
Can you turn the music up a little bit?
Yeah, can we get
course.
like some vibes in here?
How's that?
It's
good.
Love it. Sounds good.
Scared. I'm
Syrinscape
scared
kick
already.
ass. All right.
Change your mind. Turn that.
Just
I'm just kidding. No, it's
No, leave it, leave it, leave
it's
it.
perfect.
First in the initiative order, Beaky the owlbear.
God damn it.
God.
Beaky the owlbear.
Oh, God.
And so, because I'm going to be, you know what? I'm just going to be using everyone's names because it's more fun. Helps me differentiate. So, Ari, you're standing right near this makeshift gate to the cage, and you just hear, I don't know what an owlbear would sound like. There's a Dungeons and Dragons movie. I'm going to say maybe it's sort of like a, who?
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah, that seems fair.
And now that's canon.
And it's just like, it's just slamming against the gate, slamming, rattling it, and stone dust is moving. That's its turn. The next thing you hear is the voice of Akaros. Sir, we don't know what's going on here. You'll need to stop, sir. And you see him rush out behind the Stag Lord and stop behind him.
I'm just saying, I think we can use this guy. I think he's
Arthur.
like an undercover baddie.
Just moments ago,
Goody as a baddie.
Goody baddie.
we all got to hear about how the hero Arthur, his little brother Biff, knows that there's good in the world because of you. You have ropes around your hands, and you have a backhanded Jeb right next to you getting ready to check your knots. A dagger in your hand that Ari put there. You'll see it right away.
He's going to look down at backhanded Jeb
Mm-hmm.
and say, I mean you no offense. I'm sorry. And he is going to stab him with the dagger.
All right, so here's the deal. Because your hands are tied,
Yeah.
I'm going to consider you clumsy one. So it'll be a -1 on dexterity-based things.
Can I instead cut the ropes with the
As an
dagger?
action, yeah. If you want to spend your first action to free yourself, you totally can.
Yeah, I'm going to... Yeah.
You want to give me an escape check. It'll be really low, but I do believe the escape has the attack trait, which would mean your next attack would be at a multiple attack DC.
Is that with athletics?
You can use athletics, or you can use your unarmed attack roll, or I'll let you use your dagger attack in this case because you're using a dagger to cut yourself out.
Sure, let's just use the dagger.
And I'm double checking that escape has the attack trigger. I'm pretty sure it does,
Probably.
which will mean your next attack will have a multiple attack penalty.
Sure. That
All right.
is a 25.
That's going to be enough. You free yourself. It does have the attack trait, so any further attacks this turn will have a multiple attack penalty.
So Arthur, with hands behind him, cuts the rope with the dagger. He will actually then drop the dagger,
Okay.
and he's going to action to pull out the shield, action to pull out the bastard sword.
So all of a sudden they sort of phase into existence, the ring dropping the illusory veil over this gear. As you stand before them. I imagine the whole thing flickers and suddenly they realize you're in full plate gear as
Yeah.
well. Lucky. You're in the room. The Stag Lord has just stormed into the south, and you finally get a look at this man. I guess I never really showed any of you art of him last time, did I?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Let's go.
Got to guess
Nope.
from that ridiculous pawn that you got out there.
I'm not.
He looks so silly in the pond.
I'm not going
Like, look
to.
at your little antlers.
I'm not going to play the drop.
No little
Oh,
music.
come on. I love the music.
That's
It's
what the
literally
people
my
want.
favorite part of the podcast.
Oh my god! I actually didn't grab his art separately. I'll have to put it out in
Wow.
the physical book.
Wow.
Ooh.
Ari has to rate his hair.
Yeah.
Well, she already rated the antlers.
Yeah. Oh god! Don't look at that.
I would say if we're going to go back through and review the year, favorite hair ratings is the kobolds and their
this is the
headdresses.
Stag Lord.
Oh, can we please play the drop?
Nope. Someone describe him.
Ugh,
All right, we got a bare chested, kind of scarred up looking dude, very ripped,
Pretty
like
shredded, yeah.
very
like
shredded.
300 shredded.
I hate to
Um,
say it, but the hair is a 7 of 10.
This
He's
is
kind of got
what
like
I-
Jon Snow hair going on.
This is what I assume the Romans encountered in Britain.
like the or the Germanian dudes.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
they were like, "What the fuck is that?"
He's got a giant ass bow, some furry boots,
The boots with the fur.
boots with the fur. He's
Big old
wearing a
belt.
skirt of something.
It's a
It looks like a hide,
It's like a
maybe?
loincloth
A
skirt.
loincloth situation. There's
He's got
skulls.
gray pants on, so
It's got to be cold.
Yeah. Why is he not wearing a shirt? That doesn't make any sense.
You will note that every inch of his skin that you can see looks like it has been partially over time, like boiled wax, moved, molten, and distorted.
Guy needs to wear sunscreen.
Yes.
Like pockmarked holes, mountains, and valleys, like a mountain range of destroyed scar tissue across every part of his
I met
visible
this guy
skin.
at Lake Dillon once, and he was just like one of those old dudes that's like permanently tanned.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like you must really like working out here on these. He was renting out the kayaks, and I was like, you must really like it. Is that why you're tan? He's like, no. I went to Costa Rica and I lived there for like 18 months, and I came back and I was stuck like this. He's like, I've never like tanned or put suntan lotion on again. And I was like, wow, you're gonna die of skin cancer, but that's so cool.
Also, Stag Lord is just wearing like a skeleton stag head.
Yeah, he's got like
can't
that's
see
what
his
the
face.
symbol is, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, what are you gonna do, Lucky? You're in this room. You've got a table behind you. You're kind of in the middle of the room. Behind you, which is the west, you've got the door to Beaky.
Let Beaky out.
There's a rule for that.
I don't know. I'm torn.
Hey, tough choice.
I don't know how undoable the situation is, but I think I'm gonna try and undo it a little bit.
Ooh.
And I'm just gonna pull my bow, and I'm gonna aim it at the dude next to the Stag Lord. What's his name?
Akaros.
Not the hot one.
That's the hot one. Yeah.
I'm going to kill the hot one.
I'm gonna say, get him. He tried to assassinate the Stag Lord.
Good God.
You're gonna frame the hot one.
I love this.
All right.
And then I'm gonna step back towards the door a little bit.
Towards the northern door,
Like I have
the
a bow,
entrance.
so it looks like I'm like, getting in good position. Keep going.
Like
Keep going.
covering him from getting
Like-
out.
Didn't this guy,
Yeah, that's
the Nice Rock guy, like hate?
Donovan?
Yeah, he already hated Akaros, right? He said something about like, he's only been here like a month.
Yeah.
All right. So give me a fuck.
Okay, here's my thought. Can I just explain my thinking?
Yeah.
My thinking is I gave him the booze.
Yes.
He took the single thing of booze up to the Stag Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I know that he doesn't like him very much.
Sure. Classic.
We talked about that. Also, like,
Does anyone like their boss?
if you were gonna try and frame someone, like if you were trying to execute a plan to poison someone important, you would wait until there was a good opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
New people wandering
Scapegoat.
in. Right, exactly. So my thought is maybe this isn't as far fetched as I am. Well, I'm just hoping it's not. That's
Well,
all.
here, look. It's gonna be a deception check.
Okay.
So let's start deceiving someone. Let's look up how long this would take. Do you have like a
I got
quick?
patches.
Do you have a quick? Well, I want to check an important thing here because you're not creating a diversion. You're not impersonating. You're lying.
Yes.
Doing so takes at least one round or longer if the lie is elaborate. So so I'm going to let you move as a part of it, but this is your whole turn.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, roll this deception. This is against perception DCs. I've got multiple perception DCs already prepped for all these characters because it's Pathfinder and...
Okay.
All right.
13 plus 9, 22.
Okay. Now, do you want to reroll or do you want to keep
I don't know.
I'm so scared.
Jason's over there
I'm
just
looking-
like
I'm looking at
stressed.
my-
I'm like rubbing my face. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do.
Hey.
A 13 is I could
That's
roll
pretty
twice
good.
and not get that high.
Yeah.
That's my worry.
Save the patches. Honestly, save them.
I mean, I feel like it's a little bit of a desperate attempt.
If this doesn't
Anyways.
work, we just go balls to the wall. It's
Out the front gate.
run away as fast as we can.
Oh, you know where I would have moved? I would have moved if I can move just like
Yeah.
to that doorway where they are.
Yeah, moved a little bit to the east.
Yeah, just because I'm holding
Yeah.
the bow.
Is that the bow that you drew out?
No.
You drew out your own bow?
I drew on my own, yeah.
All right. So you say that as he tried to do it as you draw the bow and back up.
And I'm just staying. I'm going to keep the roll.
And you see like quite a few, you see Dovin, like his eyes narrow and his eyes whip over at Akaros and like a scowl form on his face. But you can't see the face of the Stag Lord. It's just dark under that hood, under that like helm of bone, and you just hear this deep, deep voice. Only the weak hide behind lies and accusations.
Yeah, like the guy next to you.
I think
Ari's going to look at Lucky and be like, I think he bought it.
Yeah.
And right as it becomes Krager's turn, you hear the Stag Lord, killing intruder assassins. And so, we'll really get into the combat. So Krager is the I ran out of pawns. It's the miniature in the green cloak that isn't Lucky down there near the south end of the room. He like looks back and forth like, oh fuck, what's going on? And he's going to go ahead and he will draw out a composite longbow.
Damn.
And actually, yeah, you're right. No, that's ridiculous. He will draw out a long sword.
Wow, it worked.
Okay.
And he has the movement. He will charge Lucky. If someone will please move Krager's mini, it'll charge up to Lucky, long sword out, and he's going to take a swing at you, Lucky.
Okay.
Here we go. Long sword swing. Oh, that's a good roll. 21 to hit.
Hits.
All right. Here comes the damage. 6 points of damage.
Okay.
That's a rough start for all of you.
Not a great start.
He'll second attack coming in. How do you feel about a 7 to hit?
That's a miss.
That's his whole turn.
Okay.
However, it's now Dovin Onishrock's turn, and he's not having any of this. He's going to go ahead and oh yeah, that's great.
I hate this so much.
Yes,
I know.
not going well.
I was so confident in this plan.
You told me you were your confidence, and I was like, I don't know if that's
No,
wise.
I'm still confident now. But I was confident that this plan, I was like, we're going to kill the Stag Lord and like take over the camp. And
So he's gonna kind of dodge and stride up and over the table that he's on. He's gonna draw his rapier out and stride in front of Ari. Rapier out. So it's one action to stride, one action to draw. Rapier pointing
Fight me,
directly
coward.
at you, and he will lunge with his
Nimble dodge.
rapier. Okay, that's a +2 to your AC, right? Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's a real good roll, though. This is the die you bought me in New York, Jane. 31 to hit.
hit but not a crit.
Oh,
Good.
all right. Here comes for damage. All right, that's going to be 7 points of damage.
Oof.
It is now the one of the two who is over Nori Gorgon, Trent, over there with you and Nikolai. Not backhanded Jeb, who is about to check your knots. Hears the scream of assassins, sees you draw it out, and goes, ah! And quickly draws a short sword, because they thought that they had you, so they didn't have weapons out. Draws a short sword and goes to attack you, Trent, because, well, you, Arthur. It's not actually Trent in the game.
He's attacking me.
All right, here we go. Oh, man, another good roll. That's going to be a 21 to hit.
It's a hit.
Wow, even with your shield wasn't raised.
Shield's not raised, yeah.
All right, 21 to hit.
It would still be a hit, actually.
You don't
It would
have
be
the
right at
reaction?
it.
If it's out?
Oh, yeah. Wait, I have reactive shield, but it doesn't matter. It would still...
Okay.
What's your AC?
19.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so it hit exactly.
Yep.
All right, so Shink stabs in at you. You get that D8 from the longsword. Ooh, that's 8 points of damage. Gonna swing at you again. 10 to hit.
Wait. What was the damage? Sorry.
8.
Okay.
And then 10 to hit on the second attack.
That is a miss.
All right, Nikolai, it's your turn.
And I'm
Wait,
still
I have a
tied up.
question.
Yes.
If you had done the reactive, could
Yeah.
you have lessened that damage?
No, because you have to use your reaction to lessen the damage. If you use your reaction to raise
It
it,
just raises the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So somebody was untying to check to retie. Am I still tied?
correct. Yeah, they were just about to like basically retie you up.
Can I use survival to untie my knots?
I'll allow it.
You're a Boy Scout.
Actually-
It makes sense.
I think it would have.
It would have what?
Because I have a feat reactive shield.
Yes.
You use the raise a shield action.
Yes. And I said it was 21 to hit.
Right. But it's still a hit, but the shield takes the damage is
So it
what he's
takes hard
saying.
No. So reactive shield allows you to raise it and it applies the bonus to AC, and it
Yeah.
can make a hit into a miss. For
Shield
you
block.
to
No,
shield.
it says you immediately use the raise a shield action.
Yes, which is raise a shield. The action to reduce damage is shield block, which is a reaction.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. You still can use it, but anyway, all right, Nikolai, yeah, give me a survival. It'll still be an escape check, so it'll count against your attack modifier. But you can
18.
use survival. Yeah, no problem. You slip the ropes.
Peace, bitches, and I run.
And I'm out of here.
All right. and you run to the north of this room,
Oh,
up around the corner where you can now see Lucky.
my friend is leaving me. It looks like it's just you and me two. Wait, you two and me.
You and me too.
Can I
Well,
see him?
Yes, you can
Okay.
now see Lucky. That's one
No,
action.
I mean the bad guy.
Yes, you have line of sight. So this was
Yeah.
one action to slip your ropes, one
Jason
action to
can
run up.
see him, so that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah, so you run up around the corner and you can see where where Krager had run to engage you. Had run to engage Lucky. There are so many things on my combat tracker right now.
And then I'm going to do a single action heal on Arthur.
So you would have had to do that before you ran.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because it's a single action is touch range.
That's right.
So you
That's right.
can slip it, heal Arthur, then run.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Cool. And that's just a D10, right?
Yeah,
Or-
sorry, I rolled the
Or
wrong
2D10 because you're
2D10.
second level.
I think so. We just leveled
Each
up,
level
and you think I'd know
increases
all this
it
stuff.
by a die, and if you're using your heal slots, that'll be
Yeah, it's
2d10.
2d10 plus 16, so
The plus
Damn.
16 is only if you're doing 2 action. For the 1 action
That's right.
version, it's just dice.
8. So
Pretty
at
good.
least helped out with the one you just got.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Takes him right back. Which is all some good stuff because it's now the Stag Lord's turn. He's
Oh,
pissed.
God.
It's probably fine, right?
Probably. It's
I-
a good thing you're standing against a wall, Ari. Otherwise, you might be dead here.
Yeah, he has the clearest shot to Ari. And we just had that big flashback.
Nimble
so.
dodge.
I've already used it this turn. Okay, so it is within the volley range, so he'll get a -1 on this attack. As you see him, you know what? He didn't have it. He'll take an action to, like, basically unshoulder this massive longbow, and you see him grab an arrow out and pull it back, and you see that you can hear the wood creaking under the strain. So he pulls this shot back, and okay, not a great roll. And it's -1 because, okay, how does 22 sound?
And I can't nimble dodge again.
Because you've
It's a
already
hit.
done that. So whoop, a shot from this composite longbow slams into you.
It was bad.
And let's do a little bit of damage here. 11 points of piercing damage as the arrow just wham, slams right into you. And you see him just stride forward another, like step forward. He doesn't mechanically move. It's a flavor step, like drawing, getting closer, pulling it. I will kill each and every one of you. And,
We think so too, actually.
I believe you.
And he's going to draw another arrow, chuck it down, range at you. That's a 25 to hit on second attack.
Hit.
And that's going to be 8 more points of damage. Just, I mean, think Boromir at end of Fellowship of the Rings. Just boom, giant arrow shafts right into you. All right. It's now the miniature. It's now Topper Red. He's the miniature with the white headband.
Great headband.
Yeah, he's right next. He's in the main room next to the guy with the green cloak. He's got that
Fantastic.
white headband. He is going to circle around up next to Lucky as well on the north side. So he's going to move, draw, and attack to just go help out Krager there. And he has the movement, so he'll try to flank. He'll go all the way to the north side if Lucky, and then all of a sudden realizes Nikolai's there and screams, "The prisoners are escaping too! It's a ruse! It's a trap! It's a trap!" And Lucky, you're flat-footed to this.
I've denied advantage.
Well, fuck you. Jason, you having some flashbacks of season
When
1?
he told me he took deny advantage, I was like, James's favorite feat to play against.
All right, here we go. It's not a great roll. I think I may miss you here. How does a 17 to hit sound?
That is a miss.
Nice.
Fool, you're not flanked. Lucky's too good at this. All
I'm
right,
so proud of you.
now it's Isles' turn.
Thanks, man.
That's the guard up in the northeast watchtower,
Where's Rizzoli?
and he's going to whip around. And
I think I
when
made
he
that
hears
joke
that
last
shout,
time.
he'll move down so he has a better line of sight to Nikolai. So he'll stride down, pick up his bow, stride down, and he's going to fire a longbow shot down at Nikolai. Now remember, our house rule is that you do not take the volley rule if you have higher ground. And these platforms are 15 feet up off the ground.
Pythagoras would agree that you're fine.
So he's going to shoot down at Nikolai as his final action of the turn. That's going to be a miss unless all of a sudden a 13 hits you, Nikolai.
It sure does not.
Does anybody want to stop taking hits from bandits and come over here and distract the Stag Lord?
Yeah. Oh, well, nope.
Ari had no vex.
I know you can't see on the other side of the wall, but it's just as grim over here.
I will say she's hurting.
I'm hurting bad.
Well, it's your turn.
You do have a lesser healing potion.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah,
two,
yeah.
I think.
You have one. Maybe two
You
minor.
might have minor. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I have
you
one lesser and one minor.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Ari is going to first and foremost shove this jackass in front of her. Like, get out of my face.
Okay.
That's athletics, I think.
Yep.
To do a shove.
Yeah, what is that against, Jane?
I don't know. It's a shove.
Let's look up the
Fortitude
rules
or
for
reflex
shove.
DC?
Yeah, I think it
Gotta be
is fortitude.
DC. Because I think trip is dexterity DC.
Reflex
Or
DC.
reflex, yeah, sorry.
It's all good. You play 5e2. It all gets mixed in.
That's true.
Okay, so it's a 25 to shove.
Okay.
Does that work?
Against Dovin Onishrock, that is a success.
Hell yeah. Okay, so he
Push
gets
5
knocked
feet.
back.
So you shove
Get
him
outta
back
here.
5 feet.
Therefore, gaining panache, Ari is
Yeah.
going to turn around and what's the deal with this lock?
Well,
Good God.
so there
Do
is a
it.
Don't be
cage.
mad.
I'm not mad. I think it's great.
Is it locked?
There is a rope tied to a stake used to open the gate. And
She's
it looks
going
like
to
it would
untie
take
that
a
rope.
total of 3 actions to open.
What if you
You
cut
could
it?
cut it.
What if I just the rope?
It takes 3 interact actions.
Damn.
Probably a hefty rope.
It
It's a
is
hefty
to hold
rope.
an owlbear.
Is this
You're
is
just like,
there
hang on. Everybody hang on.
Is there
just
an-
hang on real quick. With the rapier.
is there an implied ceiling right here? Or is this
Yes,
just
there's a ceiling.
Okay.
But he's taller than the ceiling.
If someone took 2 interact actions and one person took 1 interact action, would that work?
Yes.
Yeah, just
Okay.
asking for a friend.
I gotta get the fuck out of here, honestly.
Yeah,
I want to let this owlbear out, but all right. She's going to where the fuck am I gonna go though?
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
I really want to get away from the Stag Lord.
you can hide in a corner.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think she's gonna
Or
jump
run
up.
across the table.
I think she's gonna
Fuck
run
yeah.
across the table
Flip
and
the
get
table.
some cover. Can I flip the table and take cover behind
Jack
it?
Sparrow this shit.
So you can, if you spend your third action, you can improve your cover to take cover behind the table. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm flipping the table.
Yes. You can-
Is
Hell yeah.
there
and put your
a
miniature. Like,
chandelier that she can
there's
swing
not
on?
a chandelier. So
I
you-
actually love this.
Yeah.
please take some photos as you're playing with this, Jane. So, you
So
run and jump
Ari
behind the table and
pushes the
improve your
guy. She's
cover.
like, "Get the fuck out of my face!" Jumps
Dives
over the
behind the
table
table.
Yeah.
and then flips it over and like kind of
Kicks
takes
it
cover
over.
behind
So it'll
it.
be a plus 40 or AC.
Great.
I
All
wish
right.
Juggard was here because there's some chairs laying around and he kills people when he throws chairs
Whip
at them.
around chairs.
All right, it's now backhanded Jeb's turn, who I think it needs to throw a backhanded comment in. And so as soon as he escapes, he'll be like, "Oh, what the fuck, Gorgon? Did you tie these knots?"
Haha. He got you there.
Jesus. And so
Does that
he
runaway
will-
sick bird?
He will draw his longsword and strike at you, Arthur. First attack coming in hot. How do we feel? I think it's going to be a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Yeah, that was correct. Actually, that was a 12 to hit. Second attack is a 7 to hit.
That is a critical miss.
Okay, and then you just hear up on the roof, "Ooh, what's going on down there?"
Nothing's happening. We're fine.
All right. Now the northwest corner. You're going to see that guard kind of come up, and the northwest is up here near me. He's going to come up into that watchtower. He's going to pick up his bow, stride over to the edge of the watchtower, and he's going to have a shot at Nikolai from there. Nikolai, you will have cover on this shot, so +2 to your AC. Okay, wow, I'm rolling really good today. This could be a lot worse for you guys because of these rolls. +2 to your AC, Jason, total of 22.
Hit.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Roll that one.
2 points of damage.
I'll
Yes.
take it. Take it.
I did roll a 1. And finally, I think Jex the Snitch will hear it in the southwest corner and spend his whole turn picking up his bow and sprinting up to the northwest corner's
Why aren't they
tower.
trying to kill that guy? It's
What's
literally
his,
in the name.
What's his move? 20?
25.
Yeah.
So he'll move 50.
I'm like,
he'll
he's
move 10
the
squares
poisoner.
all the way running up to her. So he picks up his bow, starts running. All right, it's now round 2. Beaky the owlbear.
And Ari's gonna be like, "Come on, Beaky, come on."
You didn't even
Break
start.
free.
There's not like a name placard.
You don't
Gotta
know.
call it
It
out,
could
yeah.
say Beaky.
Look, this is what Jane would very likely name an owlbear.
That's true.
All
That's
right.
True.
All right. It is Akaros' turn, and he's watching the Stag Lord just put boom arrow into Ari, and you see him draw out a shield and a long sword, and then just kind of watch, like a little overwhelmed by what's happening, doing nothing.
Okay, good.
Arthur's going to athletic rush,
Yeah.
Ooh.
and
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
it's
awesome.
a focus thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he channels a little bit of one of the gods,
Yeah, he basically gives a 10-foot bonus to his speed.
and gets to
Dope.
move as a part of casting the spell.
Correct. So he's going to run then. That makes his speed 35.
This is an interesting, like, real recording situation, because Trent's going to come over here and start moving his character, or he's going to talk through it and Jared's going to move it. But at some point, we're going to have to
Yeah.
figure out how to do this.
So actually, he's going to raise his shield
Okay, raise shield.
as first action.
Yep.
Then athletic rush.
So that'll be 35 feet of movement?
He wants to get
Or is
as far into the other room as possible while staying 15 feet from you guys.
it? Okay. So he's going to run into, like, the main, the sort of the,
What's
I'm
your
calling it the
movement?
common room.
35 as far as I can go.
35.
Yeah.
Towards the common room, basically.
Right.
All right. So he's running up to the north around this weird little, like, half collapsed wall separating the middle of this fortress. And he's
Willing
now,
to just take AOOs if they have them.
yep, no one seems to have
I think
popped them
that's
off yet.
35 right there.
So if you run up 35, that'll put you right between Nikolai and Lucky and right next to Topper Red, the guy with the white
That's
headband.
honestly awesome. So then he's going to use his third action.
What are you going to do here, Trent?
Only him near me, right?
Yeah, you can only hit Topper Red unless you've got reach or some weird shit.
No. Then he's going to attack with the bastard sword.
All right, swing. And this is your
Oh,
+1. And did we get any other runes on the swords?
Striking on the bastard sword.
Mhm.
Nice. So quick. I know we did a lot of. Actually, I meant to hand this out for quartermastering, Jared, because you put a
Oh,
ton
yeah,
of fucking
for
work into
sure,
that.
Yeah.
Good.
So you all moved around. Everyone's got at least a +1 on their main weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then who's rocking striking?
Bo has striking.
Yeah.
Everyone except for.
Everyone except me.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and note here that Red's about to get hit. I've got all the information up. I have so many different stat sheets up.
So for people newer to Pathfinder, striking means it
Oh, yeah.
adds a. It just adds a damage die.
An additional damage die, the same
Right.
kind the weapon would normally do.
So instead of doing 1d8, the bastard sword now does 2d8.
Yep. And you have a +1 as well, which is a +1 to attack.
Yeah.
But it is fun. More dice is always fun. I actually like that as a change from 1E to 2E.
Not bad. That
Okay.
is 21.
Oh, that's a hit.
Yeah.
And that makes this.
So because I'm really was stoked with Jane's flashback because it's fun to think about Bith like my big brother is a hero, and we're
Yeah.
seeing Arthur now in the middle of this fucking
Yeah. that
Bandit
is
King's fortress.
14 damage.
Nice.
Get him.
Okay, still alive. Whew. As you just slam into, and you see like he's coughing up blood.
Don't
And you
come
hear-
near my friends.
You heard ribs just snap
We're
even
friends?
through his armor. Lucky,
Ari from behind the table is like, I heard that.
you just
Nikolai's like, I knew it.
the person who was trying to flank you, all of a sudden you just hear, and there's like a little bit of blood hits the back of you. He spits it up just from the
Sweet.
force of this hit,
Unsanitary.
and it's your turn, Lucky.
Sorry, real quick.
No.
If I have the shield raised, can I not attack?
No, you totally can.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
the bastard sword's one-handed, and the action economy is raising
It's
the
just
shield.
like he's.
Oh yeah, trust me, as someone who's like done SCA shit, like
Sure.
shield up, you can whip attacks around that shield really well.
Sweet.
You will be moving the shield a little bit as you fight, but 100%, yeah. All right, Lucky, what's it going to be?
Do I give up on anything diplomatic? I mean, I feel like
Yeah, I
feel
think
like
that ship
maybe
has sailed.
do. Yeah.
They're trying to Boromir Jane over here.
Yeah.
it's true.
Arthur's on his way.
He's trying. He's trying.
It'll be fine.
What are
It
the
was so-
chances
Uh-huh.
that I can use 3 interact actions to shoot at the rope?
Oh.
I love it.
All right, here's what I'll say. It's
Okay.
not a gimme, but you can 100% try.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you you'll have to
you
make
would
shots
effectively
with the
be,
bow.
like taking 3 shots.
And it's going to be hard because, like, unlike normal interact actions, your shots will have that, like, degrading attack penalty. All right, this is a stationary topic. It's a big rope. I have my DC in mind.
Okay. I just use my attack bonus.
Correct. And I know what it is. And here's what I'll say. If you crit, I'll count that as 2 hits.
Ooh.
I have it. It is, I know it's level, and it's a very easy target to hit because it's not moving, it's not defended.
You do have 3 patches. It's like looking at them.
I know, I'm like thinking. I got an 18. I'm going to stick with it.
Okay, so
Really
you
speaky.
sink the first arrow in, and the rope's starting to fray.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Second shot, pull it back,
22.
and you completely sever
Yes!
the whole portcullis
We
door.
think that's a good thing.
We're all going to get killed by
The
Beaky.
whole portcullis door, damn, slams to the ground. Jane, you can actually take the portcullis out of that loop because these are fun little bits.
Ooh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So the portcullis, bam, slams to the ground. If you want to put the portcullis on the ground where it slams down, boom, and the owlbear just.
And then
Oh no, it's not the owlbear's turn. It's still back there.
for my last action, I'm going
Iconic.
to take... Well, I guess I probably can't. Well, maybe. I'm going to take the longbow of Nikolai's off my back.
Okay,
Can I drop it into the space adjacent to me?
it's Arthur's space, but yes, I'll allow it.
What about the corner one?
Yeah,
no,
I'll
that's
allow
not
it.
where you.
No, yeah, but you can basically drop it behind you into Arthur's space.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
We're gonna pass it under
Did you
his
say
legs.
anything?
Yep.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm just
You
like,
thwoomp.
here.
Oh,
We
I
knew
can't
this
use
was
that.
happening.
That doesn't help me at all.
It's not for you.
Yeah, not
It's
for you.
Oh.
Cragger's turn
Oh,
in the
sorry.
green.
Just keep
It's not for
stabbing.
you.
It's Cragger's turn in the green cloak right before, right in front of you, Lucky. And so he takes that opening of you like shoot, and then pulling and dropping this other bow, and he
Yep.
takes that opportunity, attempts to lunge in with his long sword.
Okay.
You are flanked, but it means shit.
Wait, sorry. Who is this?
Cragger is the green cloak. Yep,
Green cloak,
right
yeah.
there. All right, that's not a great roll. That's a 12 to hit.
That is a miss.
Follows up, redoubles on the attack. That's a lot better. That's a 19 to hit.
That is a miss.
Jesus, Lucky.
Whoa.
Final hit coming in here.
So
it's at
dodgy.
11 to hit.
Miss.
So Lucky, you're just move. You foop. You
Hell yeah.
swashbuckler sever the fucking door rope. All right. Donna, and now it's Dovin Onishrosh's turn. Sees where you've kind of thrown that over, Jane. He's not loving this. He doesn't like what you've done there. He's going to shout up. Oh, get down here. It's time to play.
Oh,
He's going to spend a whole action doing
I
that.
forgot about this guy.
And he will then spend a full action, Jane, kind of moving up around and behind you in that cover to where that cover will
No
have
thanks.
no bonus for you.
That's rude.
So Dovin will come and loop around to behind you. And
I still think it was a good idea.
I'll
I
get
thought
in
you
here
meant a
yet.
sneaker, like some guy ran in, and I was like, this guy doesn't look great.
No, but he might, if he does come in, he'll be coming in on that walkway from up top.
Oh, great.
Oh, okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So Dovin calls in his friend with a whole action and then will vault up over and around to you, Jane. He would provoke AOs if you had one. And he'll then stab at you with the rapier. You're not going to have cover from this because it's
Nimble dash.
directional. Oh.
Oh no.
Critical.
Oh, thank God.
Nice.
Yeah, legitimately
I
tricked
was
Jane
scared.
on that one.
I was
It's
scared.
written right there. You could have looked.
I put my fingers over both at the same time.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Then stop what you're doing. Because
Is that a rule? You can do that?
just immediately.
You actually
GM, stop. Because if a foe, ever since level 3, if a foe critically misses against Ari, she has opportune riposte to make an attempt to
Shit.
disarm.
Is it to disarm or just to a strike?
Disarm the weapon it used for the strike.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So badass.
All right. So this is a disarm check, which is, I believe, athletics.
Yeah. Swashy
Yeah, then.
McBucklestein.
Yeah, you should.
I'm gonna patch it.
Okay.
Why not?
Oh, I thought you were going to play the
Death.
Jane's going to roll.
Why not death? Yeah, that's much better.
Ooh, Yeah.
Okay. So this is against the.
I would die if I can't disarm it.
That's
So-
true.
So the
All
way
right, that's
disarm
23 to disarm.
Okay, and that's against his reflex DC.
Can
And
I
so-
can I have patched that instead of Jane?
Sure.
Okay,
Oh,
I patch it.
that's nice.
All right, Jane, take that Denver patch
Oh,
back.
Jared, I owe you a coffee.
Okay.
There's some right here.
All right, so that's against his reflex DC. And I know we're already getting into this, but... So, Jane, what was your total?
23.
So that's a success. Now, here's the way disarm works, because disarm was... it was dominating in first edition.
Yeah.
So they've changed it a little bit. If you just succeed on a disarm, all that happens is your target will get a -2 on attacks
Which is something.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Until it requires a firm grip until the start of that creature's turn. And in any additional disarm that you make will get a +2. If you crit succeed, you will then fully disarm it. But in this case, he'll have a -2 on attacks with that weapon. You'll have a +2 on future disarm attempts.
Okay.
But regardless, he still crit failed. So Jane, tell me when to stop.
Keep going.
No. Okay, I've already been for radio. I'm stopping now. All right, this is a melee one. Spinning swing as he jumps over and swings that at you. His footing is off just enough where and he becomes sickened 2.
He
Whoa.
spun too fast.
He really spun.
He's like, oh God, I'm so dizzy.
My ears.
Yeah.
He's got an inner ear.
Yeah, I have an
disorder.
inner ear thing. It's not great
And
for a
Arya just
bandit,
like-
to be honest.
And so we're going to use this poison. Would you please put this
I like to
over
think
the
that
top of
Ari,
his
like,
figure?
to disarm him, like, grabs his arm as he's trying to hit her, and he, like, cuts his hand on the sword.
Nice. Yeah, just kind of drape that on top of his thing. Oh, it doesn't fit. Oh, well, just put it near him. Remind me that he's poisoned or he's sickened.
It's back there.
And you know what? I also have, because of the combat tracker, little condition thing here. All right, that was his whole turn, though. It's now Nori Gorgon's turn. He's the pawn that was in the back room with Trent and Jason.
Which one?
He's the pawn one, the cardboard one.
Okay.
And so, would you please move him up to Nikolai? He's going to stride over to Nikolai. He'll try to flank with Topper, actually. So he'll be in that space. There isn't really room because of the thing, but he's in a flanking position with Nikolai. Nikolai, you can be flanked, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's adjacent to me then, right?
No,
I
he'll
can't
be...
really see there.
No, he'll be at sort of catty corner. He's to the southwest.
But he's
You're to
within
the southeast.
15.
Jane,
Correct,
will you-
within
Okay.
15, yes.
Shane, will you draw the compass on the map?
Yeah, north towards me. All right, so he'll stride, comes to attack you. How does a 10 hit, Jason?
No.
Hear me out, though. What about a 7? That's his whole fucking turn. All right, Nikolai, it's your turn.
Nikolai will pick up the bow.
Radiant gods.
And
Is that
will-
an interact action?
It is an interact action to pick up a bow.
anything happen?
No.
All right.
Pick up your bow.
Picks up the bow, turns,
Mhm.
and shoots directly at the guy right next to him.
The one who just came up and stabbed you,
Mhm.
Gorgon.
Right in the face.
Gorgon.
All right. Gonna point blank this shot.
Yeah, we have Erastel's moderate boon still, so that
Oh,
means
yeah.
I get to ignore volley. And I can shoot up to 200 feet.
Oh, God.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
crazy.
Dirty 20?
So you and the Stag Lord are probably just gonna have one hell of a shootout. Oh, that's a fucking hit.
Yep.
Can I aside real fast?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that a Ukrainian sniper claims to have hit a 2-mile shot?
Yeah. What?
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got here, Jason?
4.
To
Not
hit?
great. Yep.
What's your
Oh,
bow?
no, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
20 to hit, 4 points of damage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, how did your 2 hit must be above that? But I forgot that you said, dirty 20.
And then with
All
his
right.
last action,
Final action,
He's
multiple
gonna-
attack penalty.
reach over and put his hand on Arthur and give him guidance.
Oh, okay. Guiding Arthur. All right, it's now the Stag Lord's turn. He is going to stride
No thanks.
20 feet deeper into the room. Boom, 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 boom. Drawing that bow back. I'm serious, like into fellowship with that ring, that Urukai just striding forward, that big, heavy ass bow pull.
I just watched those movies because it's Christmas time.
Because it's what you do at Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. And he's going to pull. He's got a better shot at lucky this time because you only just have cover. So you have a +2 to your AC.
Nimble dodge.
Nice.
I've been waiting.
Wait, Jane, do you have nimble dodge as a swashbuckler too?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Here
That's
we go.
why I say every time nimble dodge.
Even if she's not allowed to.
Oh, fuck. Okay, so you've got a +2 to your AC.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's
Another +2.
yes.
plus
You've got
4.
a total of +4 to your AC. But man, I'm really. Oh my god! It's finally time, guys.
I was just thinking as I was leveling up my character, We're going to have to play the terrible math drop soon. That math is getting higher and higher.
34 to hit.
Good Lord.
Oh, no.
That's a crit.
So I just mimed it so big I punched Jason's mic.
I
Pulls
can't,
this back.
I can't even help with this
I know.
because he's
I
too
mean,
far from me.
It's fine. It is
He
what
lets
it
the arrow fly. I don't know. Have you taken a lot of hits so far?
is. One.
One. You know,
It may be enough still, though.
I think you're gonna have
you
to.
do it.
I think you're gonna have to tune in next week to see.
No!
what happens.
Already?
Damn it.
The Live to Die podcast is a production of Live to Die Gaming. Follow us on social media at Live to Die Pod. Leave a review and tune in next week for more. If you like the amazing background audio and music, all that credit goes to Syrinscape. Make sure you check them out at Syrinscape.com.